Coming up on Small Town Big Deal.
We're heading to the woods at the mighty Paul Bunyan Show.
Go! Where the world's greatest lumberjacks face off.
You won't blow through this wood, watch him.
And the finest wood craftsmen will amaze you.
It's a lot harder than it looks, trust me.
Whoa, you want me to do that?
Well, yeah, this is easy.
Plus, what the logging industry is doing to protect our forest.
If you want clean air, if you want clean water, you can't take it for granted.
And we try to answer a question about the festival's larger-than-life namesake.
Is Paul Bunyan real?
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
You know, we've all heard the expression, money doesn't grow on trees, but we found a place where it kind of does.
That's true, and we are not telling any tall tales. We've made our way to a festival that celebrates an industry that, well, begins in the woods and ends up in your home.
Welcome to the Paul Bunyan Show.
This is a festival you have to hear to believe.
Go!
The Paul Bunyan Show creates a big buzz each year in Guernsey County, Ohio, located about 80 miles from the state capital of Columbus.
It's just the hands-on smell of gasoline and wood chips, and I love that.
Yeah.
And you got 5,000 people in these stands later on that love that too.
What makes this show special?
Well, the Paul Bunyan Show is the largest outdoor woodsman show this side of the Mississippi, and we're pretty proud of that.
Here you'll find more than 130 exhibits featuring the cutting edge in logging equipment. Even a helicopter that saws.
Yes, Martin's made
There's also a brute strength battle for world lumberjack supremacy. An impressive display of handcrafted items, some carved right before your eyes.
Now we have to find out what he made.
And shows that entertain as well as educate about the forestry industry that truly runs in the family. These guys are a chip off the old block.
My grandfather was a forester, and he was the chairman of the first Paul Bunyan Show in '57.
And my dad, he's 62, and he passed it on to me. I'm 29. I've got two boys, 5 and 4. Hopefully they do the same thing. I mean, this has been good to us.
Levi Strickland uses his work skills to compete in the log loader competition. That's where contestants race to move the logs from one site to another and then back again. At the end of the event, Levi's kids have a champ for a dad.
Congratulations, our first place winner of the logger competition, Levi Strickland.
Make that a champ with a big heart. Levi gives back the cash prize to the Ohio Forestry Association.
They need the money more than I do. I mean, it just makes you feel better. It's something you should do.
Cutting wood can also be artistic. Chuck Shefflin has been wood carving for 40 years, and you could say he's gotten pretty good at it. Chuck has won 18 national championships.
What has been the most spectacular thing you've ever created?
Well, a T-Rex life-size dinosaur, and I carved every bone, and then I put it all together like a skeleton in a museum. It's about 30 feet long, big head with gnarly teeth.
I'm gonna leave the dino-sized creations to Chuck. And honestly, I'm not sure I'm even cut out for this kind of thing as I attempt the Ohio State emblem.
Whoa, you want me to do that?
Well, yeah, this is easy. You got 4 minutes to get it done.
There's a time limit?
Well, if you're going to compete.
Looks like hieroglyphics. Okay, I admit, I didn't do a great job, but you know, at least I didn't have to have Chuck hold the back of it. Yeah, he offered that.
But I don't recommend anybody doing this at home. This is a very challenging and dangerous sport.
Absolutely. A high five.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Yes, safety is always first, but laughs are a close second at the Great Lakes Timber Show.
Who won?
And it's a riot just talking to hosts Bruce and Dale.
What was the last title I won?
Tri-state?
Tri-state champion was the last one I won. That means I've tried in every state and haven't won a darn thing.
All right, Bruce is going to step on that log, gingerly taking that first step.
Get on that log like you did. I mean, I'm impressed.
I am too.
Well, I'm glad you're easily impressed.
No.
Through the years, we've had professional athletes try it, and they're really shocked because they're exceptional athletes. And they get on there and they take a half a spin and they're in the drink.
Oh no! And I can't think of a better way to end any show than on a high note.
It really is sad that we didn't see either of you on the log today. I just can't believe it.
Jan's really wanting to go, so.
You know what? I went in the water last time.
What, were you log rolling or what were you doing?
No, I was mail boat delivering in Lake Geneva. You jump on and off the boat.
You can understand why we skipped the log rolling.
But hey, let's give the two-person cross-cut a try. I mean, how hard can it be?
Just go ahead and start.
Wait. I'm pulling and he's pulling. So are you coming your way, my way?
Okay, we'll go your way.
Okay.
Okay, good. Keep it nice and level. Keep the teeth in the wood.
You guys gonna go get lunch and then we'll maybe have this done by the time.
Are you pulling?
I am really pulling hard.
I feel like I'm pushing and pulling.
I don't know why you're saying that. So there was a purpose for Rodney and I humiliating ourselves doing this.
Yeah, and so you can see how good the professionals are.
Yeah, that's why we did it.
Is this a trick axe or something?
No.
They also challenge us to axe throwing. Check out Rodney's aim.
Oh, yeah, baby.
If you're a regular viewer of this show, you know that this is not a skill that Jan possesses. At all.
No, that was worse. I'm gonna practice, and then the next time, I'm gonna surprise everyone.
Until then, Bruce shows us how an expert does it.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
No doubt, Paul Bunyan would be proud.
Still ahead, was that legendary lumberjack a real person?
There's different states that claim, Paul.
Go!
And the competition turns cutthroat.
You can make millions and millions, it doesn't matter. You still don't want that guy to beat you.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. We're still in Eastern Ohio, where action at the Paul Bunyan Show is in full swing.
There are several cities that claim to be the birthplace of this lofty lumberjack, some even staking their claim with stately statues. But is the mammoth woodsman fact or fable?
You seem to be such an expert. Was there really a Paul Bunyan?
That's debatable, right? I mean, a lot of stories around, and there's different states that claim, Paul. I mean, I've heard Minnesota and Wisconsin think that that's where he grew up. We're sure he grew up in the Appalachian foothills of Ohio, but...
Right.
The first Paul Bunyan story was printed in 1906. Historians believe he was based on an actual French-Canadian lumberjack named Fabien Fournier.
As the legend goes, he was so big it took 5 storks to deliver him, and so strong that he carved out the Great Lakes just so his huge ox named Babe had watering holes.
Do you think Paul Bunyan is real?
No.
Is Paul Bunyan real?
Yeah.
Is Paul Bunyan real?
Well, of course.
Is Paul Bunyan real?
Paul Bunyan. Real dude or legend?
I swear every once in a while I see a unicorn. So I'm just saying, I think there could be a Paul Bunyan walking around here. If you believe, you believe.
There's some real good Paul Bunyans out there. Let's say it that way.
He kind of lives in everybody's heart.
Yeah, he does.
3, 2, 1, go!
Here, some real-life Paul Bunyans square off in the lumberjack competitions.
Whoa, right there! It's amazing to witness how fast they saw and chopped their way through wood. But the Paul Bunyan Show also stresses how the timber industry is working to take care of this precious natural resource.
If you want clean air, you're going to manage your forest. If you want clean water, you actively manage your forest. If you want wildlife diversity, if you want recreational opportunities, all of that is part of what many just take for granted. And you can't take it for granted.
Part of managing the forest includes getting the most out of every cat, using state-of-the-art technology, including lasers.
There's no waste. We get the most value out of every board. When the log comes in, the bark gets taken off, that gets turned into mulch. When the saw goes through a log, it makes sawdust. Well, that sawdust goes into boiler fuel, it goes into pellet fuel, all these things that we use every day. It's more critical that we educate the new landowners on how important it is and what their responsibilities are to maintain their forest and understand the resource that we have.
Randy Klum works with landowners to manage their trees. His job requires being part doctor.
You can see right through here there's some discoloration, and then this white stuff is called incipient rot. So it's starting to go downhill and lose its value.
This industry is a $27 billion economic impact on the state of Ohio every year. All right, that's huge.
So the old axiom, money grows on trees, is true. So it's just, no pun intended, tremendous resource.
Brad, is the condition of the forest in Ohio, is it in good shape now?
Yeah, Rodney, it's actually in very good shape. We actually came back from 10% of our land-based forested to just over 30% of our land-based forested.
Wow.
We're actually growing 1.5 to 2 times as much wood as what we're harvesting in the state of Ohio. Ohio is #1 in hardwood furniture production in the country. We're #3 in pallet production. We're in the top 10 in cabinetry and molding for your houses.
Yeah.
So Ohio's a big deal in the wood industry.
Now, there is no doubt the entire time we've been here, Rodney's been just itching to get his hands on some of the equipment, like this bad boy.
Pretty neat. How big of a log will this cut?
This is a 40-inch bar, so it'll slice.
A big log.
Absolutely, but a typical is 30 inch.
And how fast will it cut through?
3 seconds. That's
3
fast.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've got a John Deere skid steer just about like that. You think there's any chance I could run this thing?
I'd say you can.
Can you teach me?
Yeah, I'll teach you.
I'm gonna go far away.
All right. Safety first, right?
Safety first, that's right.
This button here is your saw.
So I just need to raise it up first and then move it?
Yep. Clamp it once. Now roll it down.
That was easy.
Rodney's having so much fun with that piece of machinery. I don't think he's gonna go to the next shoot. I'm gonna have to do it by myself.
Hey, Jen, I'm just gonna stay here and work a while. You go on to the next shoot without me.
See what I mean?
When we come back, the International Lumberjack Competition cuts loose.
Go! To determine who's a cut above the rest.
Who's it gonna be?
But first, a small town big deal quiz. How many trees does the U.S. logging industry plant every year? 1.5 million, 165 million, or 2.5 billion?
The answer when we come right back. Here's the answer to our small town big deal quiz. How many trees does the U.S. logging industry plant every year? The answer is C, an astonishing 2.5 billion.
And that's important when you see the speed of these top-rate lumberjacks at work. They're giving it their all in the International Championships, the main event of the Paul Bunyan Show here in Ohio.
What would you describe a lumberjack as?
Well, it's really changed. In the old days of the big old burly guy coming out of the woods, the Paul Bunyan type figure, you know, we still all see that in our minds. But you'll see today, these guys are athletes.
Josh Wilson's made his turn.
You know, there's all kinds of athletes in America. I'm betting on them to have some of the best upper body strength of any of them.
That was just brute strength knocking that block off, folks. 3, 2, 1, go!
You know, these lumberjacks tour around and do shows all over almost each weekend from Labor Day through about the end of October. It's amazing. You get lumberjack groupies that follow them around.
Are you a lumberjack?
I am a lumberjack groupie.
Go! Let them hear you, folks. You got some boys working in hard right now.
You can tell these guys have spent a lifetime working. I mean, they don't give up.
Number 3 and number 2, dog. There we go.
The lumberjack competition consists of more than a half dozen events, including the standing block, the underhand chop,
Root them all, man. Let them hear you.
springboard,
Support that board which supports their weight.
two-man crosscut, Jack and Jill, which team's a man and a woman, the hot saw, and the axe throw.
And another 6, ladies and gentlemen.
Is there one particular competition that every time you're like, man, how do they do that?
Yes,
Which one?
The hot saw vent. They actually use motorcycle engines that they've made into chainsaws. So they'll be bringing out machines that weigh 50 to 60 pounds. A standard chainsaw that you would cut your firewood with, that chain runs about 60 miles an hour around the bar. These big saws will run about 250 miles an hour.
Whoa. I know you want one now. Now he's like, there's one now.
It's addicting, I tell you, the smell of the fuel, and it's like if you're, NASCAR fans, this is very similar to that.
The sport can be addicting for the athlete too, so it's a good thing they can be competitive for decades.
Good board, Mike.
Nice, Mike.
Sullivan up on his second
That's
board.
Mike Sullivan, winner of 60 World Championship events. Even Father Time is no match for Mike.
Stand 1 is smoking today. Mike Sullivan with a great cut.
60-time world champion. I mean, I can't hardly imagine that. How long you been doing this?
Well, next year will be the 40th year.
And how old were you when you started?
I was 22.
Wow, you can't be 62.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
2, 1, go.
This competition attracts the best of the best.
These are 3 of the best choppers in the country, folks. You're gonna blow through this wood. Watch them.
But Melvin Lynn stands above the rest. He's known as the king of the lumberjacks.
You know you've won a lot of world championships when you don't know how many you've won.
No, I don't know. I'm the winningest American lumberjack ever. I'm the only one to win a world title in the chopping event in Sydney, Australia. The only American to ever win that. I won like 6 world titles at that one show.
Wow.
That was the Wimbledon of wood chopping, they call it.
So do all timber sports competitors as humble as you?
Most of us, yeah.
But lumberjacks are also tough as nails.
So not only is it hard work, it's a dangerous occupation.
Oh yeah, I'm lucky to be competing now. Broke both my legs and shattered one femur, and I had a couple of close calls. I got 7 more lives to go.
Oh my God.
And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree with Melvin's son, Jason. Here he is winning the Steel Timber Sports Series World Championship. In fact, Dad got the news during the Paul Bunyan Show.
Just moments ago.
Yeah, a few moments ago.
I see the smile on his face.
Yeah. Has an American ever done that before?
No, he's the first one.
Go USA!
Yeah, that's right.
Tell him thank you.
Yeah.
He's making us look good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And while we've all heard the phrase, winning isn't everything, to these lumberjacks, maybe it is.
So when they're not competing, are they friends?
Yes, a lot of them are.
Once they step on...
They'll walk past each other all day and not say a word to each other.
Yeah.
They'll grunt and growl every once in a
Because
while.
they're focused, yeah.
They got their thing to do and they really want to beat that guy they just walked past.
You can make millions and millions, it doesn't matter. You still don't want that guy to beat you.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I've competed just as hard for $6 as for $10,000.
Go.
We're all buddies out here. We all get along, have a good time, but when we step out there, no, I'm trying to beat all my friends.
Woo, Mike Sullivan finishes strong.
I'm tired just watching these guys.
Maybe we all need a break. Small Town Big Deal will be right back.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal.
You know, the Paul Bunyan Show, I thought, was a unique combination of logging, athleticism, artwork. You know, I learned a lot.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, too. I mean, you gotta love Bruce and Dale's comedy act.
You're very funny, very funny.
And then all the competition, the great athletes.
Yeah, I was
on.
humbled. Paul Bunyan, what do you think? So, real or legend?
You know, he kind of lives in a lot of the guys here, so I'm gonna go with real.
I like that. Me too. I agree.
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
Remember to wind up and throw it hard.
I wouldn't say this is the worst thing you've ever done, Jan.
See?
It's probably in the top 5.
So I would like to know what he thinks the other 4 are. Hey, I got a top 10 list for him.
Keep the saw into the wood.
I thought that was pretty hardwood.
Man, this is as hard as Rodney's head.